Attention gamers, and welcome aboard the TTS train that chronically online idiots confuse for being AI. Today I'm seeking to answer the question that countless coping low elo losers like myself ask every day. If I were to just have an account in high elo, could I survive? Could I blend in? And is the MMR system of losers Q and piss poor LP gains holding me back from being wealthy, healthy, and a walking 600 LP sex pistol of an enchanter main? And to be frank, I've asked this question in multiple experiments where I a low elo scrub went undercover and challenger only for the world of commenting douche canoes to say that I very clearly did not blend in. So today I am going to spin this game on its head, and rather than show my POV in a high elo game, I will show every single fight in that game from the replay system so that you don't know who the bronzy is in this Diamond/Master game. Then you can see if you are Mr. Smarty Pants Sherlock Holmes by guessing who I am. But plot twist, I threw an ex-pro player challenger in the lobby too, courtesy of TapinGG. A site that told me they will help me record this video as long as I stand in front of them and then publicly tell the world their breath doesn't stink, aka they sponsored my nonsense. So if you want cheap effective coaching or amazing duo partners who bring good vibes like this guy, just listen to this laugh.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Then check them out today. But before you start guessing, one last twist. I worried my champion pool would spoil who I was, as clearly I would be playing ADCs and doing dumb shit.
I'm not gonna lie, that play alone is gonna make people think I'm bronze. I ulted him from like point blank range and then I didn't get the kill because of it. When people see that, they're gonna be like, oh, the bronze.
So I asked a bronzy friend to be the undercover noob in this diamond game so you won't have any hints going in. So with that, I present to you, who is the challenger and who is the bronze player in this diamond game? Alright, starting us off strong up top, we have Mommy Longlegs representing the red health bars against Professor Akali on blue, who has clickbaited himself into thinking taking this trade at level 1 is a good idea, but a little wall vault inspector gadget style leaves Camille on top as she uses those long legs to walk faster than the dying sickle slut, who right about now is wishing she remembered what comes after stop and drop as we roll ahead a few minutes. Thigh Mommy has the leg advantage and she intends on showing it with some scissor kicks to welcome Akali back to lane in an overly aggressive way. But that's not all folks. The second we think this level 1 dashing douchebag of a champ is gonna get a second to breathe, we see a solo bolo tower dive at level 2 which ends up in an even trade. Down bot we have the pussy from Piltover and Ditto against a fish with a wish and Cosmic Bowling Alley Lucian, who is dressed to glow in the dark because he likes to keep his mini-map dark, as his absence of wards paves a very clean path straight to his anus for Viego, the king of the ruined simps. Straight back to footage of this Akali player's last time ever logging into League, and unfortunately you add a scarecrow that sucks you off to the equation and it doesn't get much better for her. Turns out Akali's response to speedrunning how fast you can give the enemy team the feat of warfare is to overextend more than a ripped rubber band, which leaves her both feared and fucked. This opens the door for the horny haybag to get some grubs, but a blue team's mid, the goth with 9,000 abilities, rotates well before Dumbledore's left nut, so despite them marinating in a fiddle ult, they come out up top as Veigar blows his cooldowns into translucent bullshit passive of Viego, who compliments a wild Nico in making this end poorly for the red team. It's worth noting that Nami comes in to make Viego say Nani with a bitch bubble in to bust a flash combo, but it was a bit of a greedy trade considering it left her tempered shortly after. Down south to the competition to who can blend in better at a gay bar between Lucian and Nico, but the tie-dyed lizard hits a colorful cannonball to turn the tides. Things are looking good bot, but if we check it on how Professor Akali is doing, he's continuing to get so teamed up on and roasted you would think this is a Reddit thread, but not to fear. This bot lane carry is here as Fish Tits McGee steps on a bear trap and gets Ubered back to base. Meanwhile Obama is just trying to get back to lane, but an ambitious melee minion does his best Nico impersonation, which long story short means he can ejaculate all the bullets he wants. He's still gonna miss another wave. That said, this Akali is like Lucian, anything you can do I can do better, as she gets gangbanged more than Bonnie Blue on a recording day, but never doubt a man who has bought pink and purple glowing pistols to go with his Morpheus from the Matrix cloak when it comes to life decisions. Turns out the blue team domesticated a scuttle crab, introduced it to SARMs at a young age and taught it to nosedive statues, which was apparently not something tiny Dumbledore was expecting, as he then got salty crackered by 3 of them. Caitlyn, who up until this point was stopping, now learns the rough lesson that she queued up for the wrong role if she wants to have fun without needing a support up her asshole at all times. Meanwhile, Mommy Longlegs calls up Akali for a little rift rendezvous, asking this little sickle slut if she'd like to get fucked with a little change of scenery, but the only difference is Sortilocks with his giant Disney on Ice foam finger looking weapon came to play, and that was all the Akali needed to survive one of these. That said, for all of his hard work, the red team figured they would reward him with a surprise party, and I think by him shitting his pants it's safe to say he wasn't expecting it. We are now entering mid-game. Do you have any hunches into who the bronze or challenger player in this lobby could be, or are you more lost than this, Lucian? But this particular fight has a bunch of people looking bronze as Fiddle fails, and then Camille ults into 4 of them and gets blown up like a sex doll before Viego assumes said sex doll blow up, and then the grand finale of all this is when a 6 health Fiddle thinks that this is an optimal ult. Vhagar then decides to try and contribute to society by whiffing a flash into Q combo to round us out. Heading mid for a little 3v3 action, Akali is oh so eager to show just exactly why she started the game 1 and fucking 6 as she dives into 3 of them and has to get bailed out by her own smoky donut. She then proceeds to auto walk into her death like her number lock key got jammed in a hardcore WoW quest. 2 go down, but Vhagar offers to impersonate one of the fallen so that the red team doesn't feel the loss, but Vhagar doesn't feel like hitting buttons apparently, and things are looking rough for the retards in red until Mommy Longlegs comes in to post bail. She lands an impressive scissor kick, but I have a feeling she didn't put on those 14-inch stilettos for just one kill. Caitlyn gets in a little tussle only to get out-muscled with some wall-mounting parkour killing. Then it's just the impersonating Fruit Loop distributor who tries to channel a desperation ult but falls a bit short in the process. Checking in on the mid lane, you see blue team support doing support things, which is clearing vision and getting some of her own. Unfortunately, she mowed the grass at the wrong person's yard, if you are picking up what I'm putting down, because there's a grown-ass scarecrow sitting in the neighbor's grass, which leads to a situation where Vhagar uses his first ability of the game to steal the kill. Vhagar then gets in a fight with a fake Fiddle, and then Camille comes in to say fight a real woman you pussy, but apparently her behavior is punishable by firing squad, so there's a variety of fatalities here. Then I swear I'm not trying to throw everyone off for the real Bronzie's scent, but it looks like either the frontlining Caitlyn or the absolute absence of vision from their support is taking a toll on their ability to not be dead bitches. A big Baron fight is on the TV guide for this channel in about T-2 seconds as we can see Fiddle peel off and the lizard lose her life in a tsunami. Then red team brings both tall and short to the fight from the south as Vhagar lands a cage and then proceeds to miss his entire kit. Smoky Donut Darla then decides to hide in the gas of her own copious farts before thinking a flash at this point in the fight would be a good idea as she goes down and red gets Baron. For any nostalgia seekers, here's a little throwback to the early game. I call this top lane classic remix, where it's the same outcome that you experienced a while back but in current times. Checking in on Hagrid's ballsack, it looks like he properly lands a cage before proceeding to be 0 for Saturday on landing a single ability while deep-throating a bunch himself, all while glow in the dark Lucian does something overly dramatic before getting tied up. This sets up a dragon where Fiddle feels it's the right call to port over the wall away from his team, and the objective just to get popped like a cheaply made piñata, all while Camille is like fuck this, I'm not interested in any awkward family outings at this point, I have work to do. She gets an inhibitor as the awkward pissing festival commences in favor of the blue team, but then I guess she has a plan to be this small town hero, and that plan is to hop into Dragon Pit after the thing's already been killed before donating her own life to the Make-a-Fed Blue Team Foundation as well. Checking in bot side, we have the showdown we've all been waiting for between the two absolute shitters of the game, which is looking like an Akali dub until Obama calls in Congress from the corn maze branch of the government to scare off this young dashing douchebag, as we see Lucian come back in to waste his ult so that he can steal the kill for himself. Nami and Vhagar are jerking each other off in the shrubs only to learn that Virgo is actually not Virgo, he's actually an ulting Nico, which results in a little cutesy Golden Girls routine before Vhagar dies without using his ult for the 14th time this game. He is survived by his mother, tall Mommy with the long legs, who scissor kicks the shit out of Caitlyn before hitting a hexagon-shaped homicide. This is looking like a big damn dub in the blue team, a feather in the hat heavy V. But where there's feathers there are crows, and where there are crows there's another instance where poor warding results in scared shitters. One drops in right when you think this Fiddle is capital F fuckerino. It looks like the power of a properly placed suck can be quite effective. Nico then decides it may be a good idea to start scanning the rift for Wi-Fi signals, and the surprise is only for her to get Pop showed a picture of a catfisher on Tinder, which scares her to the point of death. That said, not all alts from this fiddle are a super surprise, as you can see at times he and his swirling vortex of virginity landed him in the fountain himself. Let's pop over to Akali continuing her fail compilation, but when it came to this particular play, there were others who were shining more in the shit stain department. The blue team looks to be gaining traction as they are breaching the base like a beach in Normandy, but the theme of the game continues where Fiddle gets his absolute nut as the entire blue team seems to walk straight into his ult. This ends in a sexy ace and ultimately a victory parade down the center before a surrender ends and the red team taking it. So that is every fight in the game, and I will give you 5 seconds to answer who in this game is the challenger and who is the bronzy. If you answered that Camille is the challenger and Veigar was the bronzy, congrats, you have earned the right to backseat until the next time I do something like this again. Thanks again to Tappin.gg for helping me film this video and for sponsoring my content. Check them out and use my code on the screen for 20% off your first order of coaching or duo services. Confession: I was the bronzy Veigar. I lied because I didn't want people guessing based off my champion pool, but the Camille that I played with was a total vibe, as I will show some of our unedited interactions as we came to a close.
Yeah,
FF. Okay, let's go. Easy game.
Oh my
Easy.
god.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, by the way, I think you blend in just fine. Like, this Nami looks boosted as fuck.
Yeah, I feel like half the players in the CLO are probably boosted at this point.
That's so true. Oh, thank God we made it.
Oh
okay,
my
I'm
God.
gonna send you my POV
Okay,
of this thing.
Alright, that was fun though. GG's.
Super, GG's, bro.
Let me know if you enjoyed this concept for a video or if you'd like me to go back to just complaining about everything. Rav out.